UnicodeDecodeError when reading CSV file in Pandas with Python. I'm running a program which is processing 30,000 similar files. A random number of them are stopping and producing this error. The source creation of these files all come from the same place. What's the best way to correct this to proceed with the import?
Read_CSV takes an encoding option to deal with files in different formats. I mostly use read_CSV file encoding equals ISO 8859-1 or alternatively encoding equals UTF-8 for reading and generally UTF-8 for to_CSV. You can also use one of several alias options like Latin or CP1252 Windows instead of ISO 8859-1. See Python docs also for numerous other encodings you may encounter. See relevant Pandas documentation. Python docs examples on CSV files, and plenty of related questions here on so. A good background resource is what every developer should know about Unicode and character sets. To detect the encoding, assuming the file contains non-ASCII characters, you can use Enka, see man page, or file, Linux, or file, OSX, see man page.
Simplest of all solutions. Alternate solution. Sublime text. Open the CSV file in Sublime Text Editor or VS Code. Save the file in UTF-8 format.in Sublime. Click File-Save with encoding -UTF-8. VS Code. In the bottom bar of Code, you'll see the label UTF-8. Click it. A pop-up opens. Click Save with encoding. You can now pick a new encoding for that file. Then, you could read your file as usual. And the other different encoding types are
Pandas allows to specify encoding, but does not allow to ignore errors not to automatically replace the offending bytes. So there is no one-size-fits-all method but different ways depending on the actual use case. You know the encoding, and there is no encoding error in the file. Great, you have just to specify the encoding. You do not want to be bothered with encoding questions, and only want that damn file to load, no matter if some text fields contain garbage. Okay, you only have to use Latin 1 encoding because it accepts any possible byte as input, and convert it to the Unicode character of same code. You know that most of the file is written with a specific encoding, but it also contains encoding errors. A real-world example is an UTF-8 file that has been edited with a non-UTF-8 editor and which contains some lines with a different encoding. Pandas has no provision for special error processing, but Python open function has, assuming Python 3, and read_CSV accepts a file-like object. Typical errors parameter to use here are ignore, which just suppresses the offending bytes, or imho \replace, which replaces the offending bytes by their Python's \escape sequence. Please try to add. This will help. Worked for me. Also, make sure you're using the correct delimiter and column names. You can start with loading just 1,000 rows to load the file quickly.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.